Okay.
Okay, thank you. All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Man Chan, and I'm from the Hong Kong Polytechnic University. And I think I'm here today to talk about a very different topic to all of you because I'm from the education field. I'm a teacher of English. I'm going to share my experience of how I use my online course developed for English grammar learning in my classes. Okay, so here we go. All right, a literature review first. If you look at studies and research on grammar learning in Hong Kong, you'll find that grammar in English is generally taught in a very rigid and direct way. Usually that will lead to the general inability of our students to see the practical use of grammar rules or grammar structures that they have learned in class. Therefore, it has been suggested by different scholars, including Skin and Ellis, that we should be, as educators, as frontline teachers, we should be allowing our students that context for them to use and apply the grammar rules that they have learned together with meaningful interaction. So in order to do that, we have designed a course online, which is called the Upgrading Your Grammar course. You can see the logo here. It's something that we designed for teachers to use in a flexible way, including flipping their own classrooms with the course and their traditional face-to-face instruction. So we combined some purpose-made videos together with some practice tasks, quizzes, etc. So hopefully teachers will find it useful when they combine these online materials with their traditional classroom teaching. So that's what it means by flipped classroom approach. I think most of you have heard the term. So the Upgrading Your Grammar course is a small project online course, what we call SPOC, as opposed to MOOCs. I think some of you might have heard of MOOCs before, which is the massive open online courses. So the small project online course means that it's not open to everyone. That's the only difference. And it's hosted on the Keep platform, which is the largest platform for all educational online courses, which hosts all of the different free of charge courses as well as paid courses. And we aim at, by developing this online course, we aim at enhancing students' confidence in their English learning in general, and more specifically in their grammar learning for university students. So this is a course that combines different modules, and specifically you'll be able to see in this page 4 different units that we have developed. Some of these units, for example, the first one and the second one, would be focusing on more simple, I would say, rather basic structures of grammar, for example, the use of verb tenses or parts of speech, whereas the other units would tend to be more relevant to students' writing or oral presentations, respectively. For instance, you will see in Unit 4, we have different subtitles, subsections here. Underneath the unit Grammar for Presentations, we have different sections like parallel structures, the use of signposting language when you present orally your topic, etc. So in each of these subsections, when you click open these on our grammar course, you'll be able to see some videos that are relevant as input to the topic. And then some language pages to tell you more and describe and explain about the grammar rules, for example, in this case, the parallel structure, and with examples, of course. Then there will be some practice tasks and quizzes available for students to have some hands-on practice on the grammar rules that they have learned just now. And then they'll be led to some further learning materials, which are also, from authoritative web links, for instance, some good videos to look at if they happen to be interested in learning more about parallel structure, for instance. Okay, so that's the overview of each of the subsections of our units online. So the target group was lower level students regarding their English ability and their proficiency. So in Hong Kong, we have got students at our university, retaining different levels of proficiency in English language. So I was when I was doing this research, I was trying to answer this question. And flipping this upgrading your grammar course with my own EAP class really facilitates students learning in terms of their grammar. So in order to answer that question, I was testing this out with the flipped classroom approach on two of my classes. So these are the two classes containing 30 students in total of the subject English for University Studies. And these are students with moderate level of proficiency. As you can see here, they're not the worst in terms of their DSE, meaning the entrance exam results, and they're not the best. They're not the top. The top students will be getting like level 5 or level 5 star, what we call 5-star or 5 triple stars. So the procedures are quite straightforward. First of all, at the beginning of the semester, I introduced to them the Upgrading Your Grammar course. I told them that it's an optional resource online that's available to all of you free of charge. Go ahead and check it out if you want to. And I also provided some tailor-made feedback on their writing past tenses. If, like in this example, I'm seeing a lot of problems with verb tenses, then I would direct these students to Unit 1, for example, of the Upgrading Your Grammar course. And instead of asking them to try out all the activities and complete all the units online, I'm only pushing 2 of the units. So, for instance, what I did was to assign them a unit as homework, asking them, for example, to complete this unit 4 on grammar for presentations before class. And then in class, I would ask them to revise some sample PowerPoint slides using the parallel structures that they have learned about at home online. I would be, for example, asking them to practice presentations in pairs using the signposting language they have learned already before class. So that was how I was adopting the flipped classroom approach with the online grammar course. And the instruments, in order to gain insight on how the students view about the whole experience, I have adopted with openness, as well as a focus group interview with selected students in order to obtain their own feelings and opinions and suggestions, more importantly, on the use of the grammar course. So to answer this question of my research, I need to know about their participation. So here's the results. Most of the students, surprisingly to me, most of the students went through the materials. As you can see here, more than 80% of the students have actually used the course, using the materials, whereas some of them only completed the activities assigned to them as homework, the units 3 and 4. Some of them actually take that step forward and participated in some other units as well, even they're not told to. So that's something that's very positive to see. And when being asked whether or not they find it useful, I think most of the students were suggesting that the course generally helped them improve their grammar, and most of them also said that the course has been very useful in helping them study in the subject as well. And this is more encouraging to see here on the right of the screen. When being asked whether or not they would continue on to use the materials even after the semester ends, most of them said yes. So this is a very positive result to a course developer like me, because this must mean that the students found the materials at least quite useful, right? In order to be willing to continue on to use them online even after the assessment tasks are all completed. So the most useful units are found to be Unit 4 because it's more relevant to the assessment and to the lessons as well. The least useful units are found to be either too simple or something that are not too relevant to the ELC course that they were taking. There were, of course, reasons for not participating to the course as well. I asked some of the students, why didn't you look at any materials online, like those 17%. I asked some of the students in the 17% on the online learning experience. And as expected, they were telling me that they've got no time. They've got a very heavy workload already. So, they don't really want to do anything that's not assessed, that's not part of the, graded assessment, which is understandable, I guess. So, in general, I would say the experience of students using the Upgrading Your Grammar course has been positive. The majority of them find it useful, and they actually appreciated the self-paced nature of the course the most, because they can pick and choose the grammar structures or the grammar items that they are not comfortable or confident with, and work on those more. And there's also no pressure to complete all the activities at a certain time. So that's something that they like the most. And based on the recommendations of my students, I think what I can do next would be to enhance the course materials by increasing, first of all, the level of the difficulty and include more practice tasks. Because we thought, when we designed the course, we thought that if we put too many practice tasks there, too many exercises there, our students would find it too overwhelming. But then the results told us that actually more practice tasks doesn't mean more pressure to them, as long as we keep everything optional for them, as long as the online course is not a must to do. So that's a very important insight to me. And perhaps we can also include a section on the essay type that's relevant to their subject. So the course could be more tailor-made, and they can bridge to the face-to-face section more smoothly. Also, a good recommendation for the students would be to shorten the videos, or even we can edit the videos so we can make it, again, more tailored to our students' needs. So, from my perspective, I would say the most important takeaway from this experience would be when we combine technology with education, besides saving the class time, so we can focus more on the practice or more interaction in class. I think the more important takeaway from this whole that less is more. That as teachers, we would have to overwhelm our students with those online materials that we develop. We will have to be very selective. We will have to ensure that it's a sensible workload for our students whenever we ask them to do something online before class. And by doing that, I think we can develop the learner autonomy as well, because as students, or even as human beings like you and me, when we're given choices, when we're given options whether or not to participate in something, it makes us feel more autonomous as a learner or as an online material user. And that's very important, because the more learner autonomy the students are offered, or the higher autonomy they feel, the more initiative they would take in general.
Doctor, can you just conclude, please?
Okay, fine, no problem. So the more, as I said, the more autonomy